press play. It's a brand new day. Laugh, unload, make waves. We doing it our way. Yeah. Good day, hey, come on and start your day with a smile and a wink and a how you going, mate. Good day, hey, pull up a seat, let's say we're all in this together. Good day, hey.
Good day, gays. Welcome back to another episode of Good Day Gay. I'm Russell Ray, along with my special co-host today, the Cheekie Humbie. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me. It's always fun to be back.
How do you like our intro? Did you hear our intro last time?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, I just want to make sure
It's
that
good.
we have that covered.
Yeah.
Also, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yes, ring the alarm.
Yes, 21 finally. Yes.
Okay, you are logged off for the day. Welcome back. Obviously, we have another episode going on today. It is our weekly, and today we're talking about the age of influence. Has social media gone too far? And by that, it means, have influencers gone from being specialists in the field in which they're preaching about on their Instagram or their TikToks or any type of social media and being that niche, intelligent person, or has it just turned into a reality show and this is just another step of reality TV? We're going to break it down today. There is a lot happening in the news. You know, we obviously still want to bring a fun element to this, but we do want to cover important things that are happening in the world, and there is much that's happening. We're going to start in West Hollywood, where a couple was approached by an influencer who is, of a political influencer who approached them. I want to preface this for you. Approached them as CNN, and he was not CNN. He was impersonating a CNN influencer or a CNN journalist, and began the interview starting off with simple questions, and then the interview took a hard turn. So let's take a listen to this and tell me what you're thinking about it.
Son or daughter? Or
Son.
awesome. And are you guys a couple?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. So have you ever heard about the statistics coming out that gay men are statistically much more likely to commit child molestation?
No.
You've never heard about that before?
Crazy. Yeah. No.
Yeah. Don't you think it's weird that you guys have a child, but neither of you are a woman?
No.
You don't think that's weird?
No.
So you had a surrogate? You paid a woman $50,000 to be pregnant?
Who are you?
And build an
dude?
emotional
Fuck
connection
off.
to a baby?
I'm gonna fucking kick your ass.
Hey, don't take my mic, dude.
Fuck you.
I'm actually concerned for your baby's safety.
Concerned for you.
We are asking you to leave.
Hey, fucker.
Get off.
You, bro.
So that was the video,
wild.
right? This happens in West Hollywood. You and I have gone out in West Hollywood. We've been going out in West Hollywood since we were, what were we, 23-ish years old?
Yeah, about.
And so now this happens, right? So not only did this person, political influencer, step into a gay neighborhood, but also portray to be a social media influencer. Now, with that being said, you and I both went to broadcast journalism school, and we studied multimedia. You had to take, we had to take law classes in regards to what can be portrayed in the media and how we can portray in the media, because there is there's laws that we have to abide by. And there's also, there is a certain decorum that you have to have as a journalist and as a professional. So what is your initial reaction after watching that video and actually hearing it live here?
It's intense. It's really, really intense. And I can see how the couple, they at some point felt very uncomfortable, just because the questions that he was asking. I don't know. I'm a little baffled because that's intense. That's very, very intense.
Well, it seemed at the beginning it started as a wholesome sort of, hey, how's it going? Do you have, what is your child? Is your child a boy or girl? It started very simple, and then
because we've seen, right, on social media, we've seen these little interview things that people do.
Yes.
So it almost, if in their shoes, it almost felt like that. It felt like a normal, like, hey, a quick like questionnaire type of thing,
Yes,
right? Yeah,
correct, correct, correct. So it's like it's to me it's very troubling to the fact that I just want like I said, has social media gone too far? So have
yeah,
influencers gone too far? For the fact that someone's going to impersonate a journalist
right.
is can be seen as a felony in California. There you have to meet one of three guidelines. One of them is is it causing a liability? The other one is it causing harm? And the third is it fraud, right? Is it causing fraud? And
Hmm.
if CNN gets involved in this situation, this turns into a bigger beast than what I think this person realizes. And I think with
Right.
our generation as millennials, we understood that there was consequences to our actions.
Of
Now
course.
we see a lot of influencers, they get loud on the internet and they
Hmm.
get all these followers and they think
Yeah.
it's okay to be like this in person. So your persona online is one thing.
Right.
You're actually able and capable to do in person is another. And I think
Hmm.
that's where we need to get back to either you're a specialty, you're a specialist in your field of study or whatever you have on your social media
Hmm.
presence. So
Hmm.
if you're a fitness influencer, you should really be a kinesiology major, or you should be a personal trainer
Yeah.
who's become a master trainer, who's had X amount of sessions. If you're going to be a chef, you better have very well known uh read books, even if you haven't studied, because not everybody can afford to go to college, right? So
Of course.
you better have read some books into depth and or have made mistakes and be
Yeah.
authentic about it. My issue with this interview is that, again, you and I know the ins and outs of what it means to be a journalist.
Hmm.
We know what it's like to read teleprompter. We know what it's like to
Yeah.
have that professionalism and
Of course.
things to go about, right? And how to go about questions. So, um, the fact that someone of this stature, right, who is a
Hmm.
influencer thinks that they're invincible, to me is
Yeah.
insanity, because where
Yeah.
I was going with this is that if CNN gets involved in this causes harm to CNN's brand. It's a liability to CNN's brand,
Hmm.
and it's also a fraudulent act upon their brand, which is a felony in California. So if CNN gets involved in this, it's going to be a larger story than,
Yeah.
someone harassing and coming into a gay neighborhood to rage bait and harass a same-sex couple with a child. Now, if someone wants to talk about, how can I word this? If someone wants to talk about, oh, a child should have a mother and a father, then you should go preach to all the fathers who've left their mothers, who've left their children with single mothers and who have nothing to do with their lives, is how I feel about that,
100%.
right? So you
Right.
want to talk about a child should have two parents, then let's start with everybody who bails out on these children's mothers
Yeah.
and leaves them high and dry, right? When in this
Right.
scenario, you have two loving dads who are caring for their child, who are out walking their neighborhood with their child,
Right.
yet someone felt the entitlement and had the audacity to come into a neighborhood and cause a ruckus for no reason. And now one of the dads
Right.
is being charged with a felony for assault.
Of
And
course.
it was like none of this would have happened if this person wouldn't have entered
No.
this neighborhood to rage bait a couple who is just trying to raise their child and live a peaceful
Hmm.
life.
Right.
And I've looked into this couple, and they're actually prominent figures in West Hollywood, running for prominent positions within the community and are highly
Hmm.
respected individuals. Their
Yeah.
GoFundMe account has already reached, hold on, we were just messaging yesterday. So Anthony Volin is one of the individuals who's an LA realtor, West Hollywood City Council city commissioner,
Wow.
and an owner of a real estate company. Now, I've gone through his page. He has basically he's continuously fighting for justice for the West Hollywood community, is trying to
Hmm.
progress the West Hollywood community. So there's a lot happening here with this individual. And so the community has rallied around them, and you can really see the support and love that they have. The community has rallied around them, already raised $150,000
Wow.
for their
That's
defense
crazy.
attorneys. Now, the influencer who posted this video is portraying that he was attacked, that he's a victim. By no means do I think he's a victim. When you go into a community and you strategically harass someone,
Yeah.
you know, what are you doing? It's again,
Yeah.
it's a
And
form of privilege, and it's a form of audacity where you think you
and
can
for
just show
what
up somewhere and do something.
right. Like for what purpose? You know what I mean? Like what do you think you're gonna get out of this? Like I just think that
Exactly,
it's so
exactly. It was just to rage.
and
It's basically to rage bait. If you go to this
yeah.
person's Instagram, I don't even want to give him the time and day
No, not at all.
of even
Yeah.
posting what their name is. But if you go to their page, it's nothing but rage baiting people, right?
But
It's
it's
nothing but
it's
trying to make
yeah.
someone of the opposite opinion look or sound dumb. And it's like, we've gotten so far in this age of influence where we cannot have nuanced conversations anymore. And a
No.
nuanced conversation is, for for some people who might not have used that word before, right? Like, nuance is a very is a very it's a very niche word. It's not used as often in conversation, right? So nuanced conversations
Mhm.
is, you don't necessarily need to agree with me. I don't need to necessarily agree with you, but we can
Right.
understand each other's points of view and
Yeah.
have our own perspectives on it, right? So here we are in this situation where,
Mhm.
it's like you're going to come at someone with false statistics. By the way, it is completely false that same-sex or homosexual couples are more likely to assault their children. That is
Right.
completely false.
Mhm.
So it's just it's terrible. And so this influencer now has started their own GoFundMe, which has only reached, I think, maybe $1,000.
But it's like the audacity, honestly. And
It
not
is.
only that, unfortunately, it's also their followers that enable him to do things like that because no one has ever called up. I'm assuming because he's still doing it, no one until this moment. But I feel like no one has ever called him out on anything or has really challenged him and like as to why he's doing these things. You know what I mean? Like rage baiting. Um,
Yeah,
so I think for him, he feels like you said, right? He feels like he's okay, he can do this. It's almost like their privilege, like because I think no one has challenged him
it is. And
until
I
this
and I this
situation.
is going to be a big lesson for him. You're
Yeah.
you're you're speaking
Mhm.
with two grown men who've gone through the ins and outs of dealing. What do I know their exact story about their coming out stories or anything like that? No. So I would
Right.
assume that it's very relatable to any millennial who has had to go through the ups and downs and through the shame of
Mhm.
wanting to live their life and just live a peaceful, normal life and wanting to start a family. Some people
Right.
want families, some people don't. I think everybody across the board should be able to make that decision for themselves. And if you
Mhm.
have the compassion to raise a child, to nurture a child, and to
Yeah.
put time and effort into a child, and not leave someone high and dry after you get them pregnant, and then leave them to fend. And because you really don't, at that point, you really don't care about people raising children with two parents. You're only picking and choosing what you feel is important, right? So that's this whole
Mhm.
situation.
Right.
And so my thing is, like, again, where do the repercussions come in? And now this is a repercussion that this influencer is going to have to face, because
Exactly.
he went into, this is borderline a hate crime. You went into a community that you
Mhm.
knew was supportive of the homosexual community, which is big in the homosexual community, and you're going
Yeah.
to rage bait someone. So that happened this week.
Right.
Um, and so, I think a lot of us have been in that situation, who have been in same-sex relationships, who we've had to deal with someone either calling us out of our name, yelling, screaming something offensive out of a car.
Yeah.
And, a lot of times I think these individuals that do that believe that there's going to be zero consequences, but
Mhm.
you know me, I'll jump through somebody's car window
Listen,
to
okay?
make my point. Like, okay, you want to say that? Go, come back, turn around the block, stay at that stop sign. Why are you trying
Yeah.
to drive off? So that happened this week. But then I also want to dip into, before we
Okay.
dive deeper into this, um, there were two influencers, Rael and Claudia Glam from the UK. They
Okay.
got into an altercation outside of a UK nightclub, which resulted in Claudia Glam being run over by Riel's vehicle with Riel behind the wheel. Riel was later on. She was arrested, and let me get some water. Hold on.
Okay, clear the
Ready.
third.
Riel was Riel was arrested and she was
Yeah.
charged. She faced her first day in court 2 days ago. It was assumed that Claudia Glam had passed, but her mom released a statement and stated that, you know, she, right as they were, this is all alleged. I want to make sure that the mom released a statement just to hold her high in your prayers as she's recovering. Friends have come out and stated that as the family was trying to decide if they were going to pull her off of life support, that she actually started breathing on her own. And then one of the friends came out with her own video explaining the situation. So let me have you listen to this.
Okay.
I'm not talking about hearsay. When I talk about the situation, I'm not talking about hearsay. I'm not talking about through the grapevine. Claudia is my friend at the end of the day. When I'm saying about certain things, I'm being vague only because I don't need to go into so much detail. I only need to say the surface of what has happened. I don't need to go into her whole lifestyle. I don't need to go into certain things. I have respect for her, her friends, and her family. You know what I mean? So when I'm saying this is not about man, it's not about man. I'm explaining the fact that this all stemmed from a very long time ago. This is not something that happened a week ago or recently. This all stemmed from Claudia unfollowing Riel, and Claudia not liking Riel, and Riel messaging her, coming on her whole, oh, why did you unfollow? This is all stuff that, the fact it even got to this, Riel has always had issues with people in London. She has issues with a lot of people, and they're all separate people for different reasons, because she always feels like she has to come in an environment and step to people for so
this all stemmed from them unfollowing each other.
That is crazy.
What have you, well, first of all, you personally, does it affect you that bad when somebody unfollows you?
No, I think it's so interesting that people really do get offended over an unfollow on social media. I personally, listen, we've had social media for how long now?
I mean, since
I've
junior high
been,
school, we've had it.
yeah,
At this point.
at this point, I mean, even on MySpace, right? Like I've been unfollowed, followed, unfollowed, like
Yeah.
left and right. And sometimes it could be from like people that I like or even friends. And like I just don't care. Like I personally just I don't care. Social media is not that serious. Like I don't care if someone unfollows me. I don't even realize when someone unfollows me. Like you know what I
Okay.
mean? Like it's to that.
Wait, let's dial that back for a second, because I've unfollowed someone and I've gotten a message within like 20 minutes. Like, that's weird. You
Right.
unfollowed me. And it's like, how did you even see this?
I've
Like,
gotten
where's
paragraphs.
the
Yes.
alert happening? Right. And I know
Yes.
one person specifically who I unfollowed. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say who it is. I unfollowed one of my exes from a while ago. And
Okay.
when I tell you, it was like called out within a day. Like, hey, I
Yeah.
see. I didn't
Mhm.
even open the message because I'm like, I'm not giving you that time or effort or day. Because like
Mhm.
again, it was after the debacle that happened during my Halloween party, and I was like, well, I'm not doing this anymore.
Mhm.
And you know me, like I really do try to be cool across the board. And then once you cross the
Mhm.
line, it is over, right? Because you and
Right.
I have been friends for over 10 years. And so you know me,
Yeah.
like I really do try to put an effort out there. I really do try to be a loyal friend,
You
take
really
care of
do
my
try.
friends. And I do. And when
Yeah, yeah.
once you disrespect me in a certain type of way, it's like you've
Yeah.
never existed in my life before that.
Mhm.
So I unfollowed this person because you were obviously there during the Halloween confrontation where it was like, well, you can't handle your liquor, you're being disrespectful, and I've had it. Like, you need to go home. You need to, like, this is enough. You clearly
Yeah.
don't have all this under control, and so it's time for you to, get in the car, go home. They were offended by that. So I was like, okay, at this point, like, we don't need to be friends. I've tried. I really have done the effort.
Mhm.
We cleared the air. We were good. And I'm just like, I don't like that type of negativity in my house to start with. So it just had to
Of
be over with.
course.
Anyways, so I got the message within 24 hours
Yeah.
of, oh, I see that you're not following me anymore. And it's like, hi, how about, hey, I'm sorry for acting out of pocket at your after your Halloween party, right? Because like
Yeah.
this was post where everyone's going home. I'm sorry for trying to linger too long. I'm sorry, like all these
Yeah.
things, right? Like that's how easy that could have been. Like I got out of hand, like that's my fault. If you need a
Right.
break from me, I understand. So,
Mhm.
anyways, I know this person doesn't have any of those unfollow apps or anything because they are not that savvy. So
Yeah.
the fact that they caught on to it that fast
That is
has my
crazy.
mind baffled. Are you really focusing in on who is following you and who is not following you, and
Yeah.
how have we gotten to this point?
Right. Right. Like, how much time do you have a day to be doing that? I feel like we're as, you know, us in our careers are so busy. I'm busy. Like, I don't have time to
Girl.
be monitoring. Well, one, I don't have time to be monitoring my Instagram. And two, me personally, and I always kind of just preach this, for me, it's like, regardless if you're a friend or someone that I admire, like if you're not adding value to what I'm viewing on my social media, there's no need for me to follow you. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
also,
Exactly.
yeah, like for me, like here's the thing, like I'm not always clicking on Instagram. You know, I'm not very active on Instagram always. Um, when I'm on it, there's no way that let's say, I'm looking at 1,000 plus pages within that time span that I'm sitting scrolling on my phone. There's just no way. Like, if anything, I'll
Yes.
click on the app. I'll click maybe on the stories that pop up at the very top. I'll click on those and that's it. Like, or I'm scrolling a little bit, or
Mhm.
I'm on the Explorer page, but it's just like a few minutes, maybe like an hour, let's say, I don't know. But I'm not looking at 1,000 plus pages or my followers, the people that I'm following, right? In that time frame. There's just no way. And if you do, then you have
Yeah.
problems. But my thing is like, so I don't need to be following that many people. In fact, like you know this, I go on unfollow sprees. Like I'll every so and so, I'm like, you know what? I'm following too many people. Let me start unfollowing people. But it's no shade. It's no like there's no animosity. It's just like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm following too many people, and I
Yeah.
want to utilize social media as a means for me to kind of feel better about myself, to be motivated. I don't want to, I don't know. But it's so interesting to me. It's so interesting to me that people today take these followers very seriously.
Well, it's funny that you stated that you use your social media as an inspiration to feel better about yourself,
Hmm.
meaning like, you're following, and I know you like you're following the fitness routines. You like to see people's improvements and how they got to that point. And so you try
Yes.
to take pieces and elements that work for you
Yes.
and implement that in your own life, which
Correct.
is
Yeah.
understandable. Which brings me to my next talking point of this whole situation is, what is the line between creating content and real life? Right? Because some
Yeah.
people, like, you have content, you had content creators like King Batch, right? Who came out on Vine, was doing 5-6 second vines. It was purely for entertainment, and then
Hmm.
blew up this whole career now, making 2 million a year. Won a streamy, started landing roles in movies like with Tyler Perry. And so you have all that happen. But then it's like, what is happening? And why is this person shining a light? Girl, what? Hello?
I saw that too. I was like, what is going on?
Like, hello?
Hmm.
So, like, do influencers feel untouchable because of their followers? Because that's not what it was about before. You were either
No.
an entertainer, just like you're an actor,
Yeah.
or you are a specialist in what you do. So you were either one, creating for entertainment, or you were two, creating for
Hmm.
inspiration because you were actually trying to educate people and build a business, like
Right.
a fitness brand, start your own
Yeah.
gyms, have a personal training business, online training
Exactly.
business. That was where it's at before. Now we're in this middle piece where it's like it's
Hmm.
just a popularity contest, and
Yes. Yeah.
what are you actually providing, right? And what I was
Right.
always told for media training is, and Lord knows sometimes my social media is a mess, sometimes it's on point and it's right in alignment from what I need to be. And
Okay.
hello, like, what is this person doing?
Is it when to call the police?
I
Because what
no, I
is
think it's
going
an Amazon.
on?
I think it's an Amazon drop off. I'm like, what? Like, why are we? Because I could take my light and I could shine it too. Okay, like we.
Right.
um but again, like this whole unfollow spree started, or like it started from an unfollow spree and then it ended
This whole
up
situation.
into
Yeah.
attempted murder. So it's
It's
like,
just so crazy.
do you think that you were invincible? And Riel had posted on her story prior to that. I don't want to botch this, so I'm just going to summarize it just so people knows that it's not exactly what she said. But basically she said, if I do something to hurt you, they're not going to find me guilty because you antagonized me. That is not how the world works, no matter where you're at in the world, right? This is in London, and they have different laws than we do in the United States. But at the end of the day, we like you can't attempt to murder somebody because you are going to be held liable for that. There is no ifs, ands, or
Right.
buts about that. You cannot assault a person with a vehicle. You cannot do it. And so it's like, why are we watching people's TikToks? Why are we watching people's Instagrams? Hell, why are people watching this podcast right now? It's because of why? To provide them entertainment, right?
Yes.
So is it now that we're at this point of the dopamine from the addiction to views and likes, right? Because I know it feels nice when I'm getting a substantial amount of likes on some of my pictures.
Of
And
course.
then some of them I'm completely baffled about, right? Because what did I just recently post? And it blew up, and I was like, that was not the post that I thought was going to blow. It was the one of me on the Empire in front of the Empire State Building. Like 287 likes. I posted it at a random time in the middle of the night, and 29 comments. Normally people don't comment on my stuff like that. Normally
that
it's
is
like
wild.
It's like the picture like of this, right? Where it's like me and my, you can't really see, but it's I'm no shirt on, you know, my gym shorts, and those are the ones that usually blow up. And usually the ones where I'm posting, like, you know, like when I was on the beach in Hawaii, it's like 100 likes, 120 likes, but it's like all of a sudden this random one in front of the Empire State Building is like 300 likes. So it's like, what is my brand, right?
Right. Yeah.
And not that it matters, because like if something was to happen to me, like I want all my best photos of me traveling the world and me hosting live shows to be that. So like, you know, because nothing's worse than when someone passes and you're searching, scouring for photos and texting people and asking like, can you find
like one decent photo of so and so?
Can you yeah, like can you find a photo of such and such? Sorry, our comments are blowing up, and I like hold on, what does it say? Someone asked if we're gay. Duh. The other person says, what's with the gay mouth? I don't know, what's wrong with your mouth? So there's also that. So hello, welcome to the show. Anyways, but
I'm logging off.
I'm logging onto their profile now, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna blast them. But again, like, is it the dopamine of likes? Is it what? No, I want people to see my social media and be like, oh, if something happens to him, like, oh, we can pull these photos, because these are actually really good photos of him traveling the world, you know, doing these live audience shows. And like, you've been to my shows. I have like over 1,000 people in the audience, so it's a good time, and we were trained for that. But what are other people really getting out of it? Do they really have nothing else going for them, where it's like their followers are all they have?
Well, you know, also, unfortunately, like I have friends that work, I don't know the specific term, but if you can think of it, you can let me know. But where it's like the talent scouting type of thing, like where they use people, because I've heard where it's like, if someone's trying to cast somebody, they'll hire someone in that team to go look at people's Instagrams, and whoever has like the most followers, whoever they are, they reach out to them for these type of, like, whether it's a deal or like a casting, or because I've heard of it happening. I have friends that do like these scoutings. And so also, unfortunately, maybe that's also the reason why people care so much about their followers, because people, you know, just nowadays, everyone just wants to become someone on social media. And so they utilize whatever they can, like the previous video that we watched, where it's like they kind of utilize whatever they can in order to gain more followers, because unfortunately that is what I think still currently happening, you know, where you have like these people scouting for talent, I guess.
I can understand that, right? Because Tyler Perry looks, and you know, I'm a huge Tyler Perry fan. Like I what he's done for the African American community and building his studio is amazing. And like, I can only wish that I could do that for. Well, I'm not gonna say I can only wish, but like, I haven't got to that point yet where I could really push Latinos and help them build their careers. Because that's my ultimate goal, right? Is to help build Latinos up and to help really like build that community and our community and really lift each other up. Because like, I feel like we don't have someone behind us like that, like Tyler Perry. Like, he is a phenomenal individual for doing that, right? If there's not a space, you got to create it, and that's exactly what he did. But I also feel like some of these people don't have an identity, and their followers are their identity. I remember at one point when, what was it, TikTok or Instagram was going to shut down. No, it was TikTok that was going to shut down. That like followers were at 0, likes were at 0, and people were literally crying on their
They were
TikToks, like, please go over
crying.
and follow my Instagram because like this is all I have and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean you don't have anything else to do? Baby, I have 3 streams of income, and if one of those goes, guess what? I'm gonna find another way to do it.
You're gonna find another
right?
way, yeah, because that's how you do it, yeah.
And that's the thing that I'm scared about with this generation of influencers, is that they don't have a fallback plan, nor do they have any skills, right? Like, you can have all this money, but you also have to spend that money in order to stay in the influence. So you got to have the house, you have to have the cars, unless you are actually entertaining, and unless you are actually an entertaining person, you got to keep all this up for the clout,
right?
Or you're gonna lose your followers, or they're gonna become stagnant, right? And then there's me, girl. Like, I've been in the same place for 3 years. I love it here. I'll paint a little wall, and I'll show y'all how I paint the walls. Okay, but we always know my Halloween party is popping. Okay? It is always popping. My theme is always to the T. And like, as much content as I have with creating that Halloween party, I don't really post it because I'm like, I'm too busy in the moment, living it, like trying to create this special moment for my friends that we can all bond and have a good time. And you know, when you grow up, you lose that sense of, you know, you can't have fun anymore, and you can't. You have to be an adult, and you have to be serious, and you have to do this. And like, again, coming back to social media and posting and everybody becoming creators is like, I take that moment, which I could capitalize on, right? Because I really do have a lot of creative things that I do here. I choose to take that moment to build my friendships, or like to really just kind of create a special moment, instead of trying to like, what do you say? Like, it's not exposed, but it's like capitalize on that. Like, can I do it? Yeah. But like, is it more important to me to have a good time and to have those core memories? Yeah, because people aren't going to look back and be like, you know what? He really did have that good content about his Halloween party. They're going to be like, no, he was like tearing it up in the middle of his living room for his Halloween party. You know what I mean? And that's what I personally want. So I think this newer age has to really figure out what they actually want. And coming back to the 2 videos that we've seen today and like listened to is how can I say, is our street interviews switching up, right? Like, for instance, like we had this street interview, and now it took a turn, but like, whatever happened to like the good interviews where like, oh, you actually have a producer behind the camera that's like, we're looking for this sound bite, but you have to naturally, that's a talent. You have to naturally make it happen. I can't tell this person to tell you that. You have to provoke them into getting to that point.
Right.
Meaning, if we're interviewing a gay couple with a child and we wanted to find out about the hurdles of, you know, being a same-sex couple and raising a child, you don't like, sure, you can come out right out the gate like Barbara Walters with that, but you can also get to that point naturally and authentically. Like, oh, like, how did your story begin? Where did you meet? You know, and when at what point did you decide that you wanted to have children? Was there any hurdles when it came to wanting to have children? What was your biggest challenge, right, into getting to have a child? Now that you have a child, what has changed, and what challenges do you have now? And are you thinking, what the heck did I get myself into, like every parent does? Or has it been blissful? And then you have a natural conversation like that. That's how we were trained, right? So you get to that point, and it doesn't have to be negative. It doesn't have to be. Why are we spewing negative energy on the internet Why are we going out of
Mhm.
our ways? Because what? Because we've seen political influencers do this, and they got a mass following from people who can't think for themselves, right?
Mhm.
Like I don't know. Like I feel like the internet is so saturated right now that
Yeah.
like this could be very much the tip top of a breaking point. And so how do I even say, like you have a lot of followers, you get a lot of comments, you get a lot of DMs. Like, how do you
Mhm.
decipher what you really care about to put on your Instagram, or do you not care?
That's a good question. I mean, I for sure definitely like I mean there's a lot of things that I do think about if I'm going to post something or
Hmm.
because like you said I have friends, I have family or just people that I meet like I'm a very frequent gym goer, you know that. I just meet people left and right. I travel a lot for work. So I do have to kind of be cognizant of the stuff that I post because I'm building like these friendships and I only have one like in Instagram, like I don't have two different ones. So I do have to kind of be careful what I post or not because I don't know. I just it's like, okay, these are people that I don't really know
Hmm.
and I don't want to kind of build like a bad light on me, if that makes sense, because that's not how
Yeah.
they met me. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's
Yes.
tricky. It's very, very tricky. I don't know how you go about it as well, but I think for me it is tricky sometimes. Because with friends, like wouldn't care. But it's like, well, you don't only have friends, you have like really successful fitness like influencers, right? That I know personally, or like
Yeah.
certain instructors or people that I've just met along the lines who have really good careers and businesses and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, well, they follow me, and like, do I want to paint myself in this certain light or in this light? Like, so it's tricky sometimes. I feel like,
I think I think on my end, I try just to be fun
okay,
online. Like the other day, what the hell was that man's name when I was on the treadmill? He was part of the free motion machine preset workout program. And I almost unplugged his ass so he wouldn't do it to anybody else because I'm
that is
like,
so funny.
he had me at a 30 incline and I was just about ready to unplug him like Smart House. Because,
Hmm.
sir, that is I cannot. Like I was fighting
Yeah.
for my life on that treadmill. It started off real cute at a 9 incline, and then all of a sudden I'm climbing up a straight hill. And I said, "How did I get to 30? How did we get to 30?"
Yeah.
Um, and like that's my real life, right? So I um actually have a situation I want to talk about, but I also don't want to talk about. That's my real life, right? I was really
Yeah.
on the treadmill. Like I'm trying to progress my fitness routine. In the past 6 months, I've really dialed in on um getting a routine. And you know this because you're like, girl, how do you do this? I know you're tired, right? And I'm like, I'll
Yeah.
just make it happen. I plan it out like a week and a half, 2 weeks in advance of like, okay, like this is my schedule. I gotta be at work at this time. So that means I gotta rise earlier to the gym, or
Yeah.
I got to go after the gym or after I finish working, and then I got to work the second day into there because I don't want to hit the gym sooner than at least 18 hours from each other, right?
Hmm.
Um oh. It's like, where am I going with this? But then I recently had a situation where I
Hmm.
was engaging with someone and they wanted to tell a lie. And I'm like, why? Like what purpose does that serve? You can tell the same there was truth within that lie. Like you can literally tell the truth if you spin this differently and people will relate to you better. And it wasn't the
Okay.
case. And it baffled me to think like, why do you need to try and make yourself seem more prominent than what you actually are? People like relatable,
Hmm.
right? Like if I say, girl, I just got out this flight from Hawaii. I'm tired, but we're gonna film this podcast and I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna take a 4-hour nap and I'm gonna go to the gym. You can bet that you'll see a picture of me on Bondi Beach or one of the beaches in Sydney prior to that because I'm not lying.
Yeah.
Like, what is the purpose? Like, have you personally ever lied on your Instagram? And if so, why was it? Like, were you trying to cover like, oh snap, I need them to not know that I was here and I need them to think that I'm somewhere else? Or or does it or does that not matter to you? Because I try not to lie on my Instagram. Like everything that I say on my Instagram
Yeah.
is an element of my own truth, right?
Yeah.
I don't, and we talked a little bit about this earlier with our pre-show, was like, you know, like I stopped using filters in college because
Hmm.
when you first get to learn the filters, baby, you are blurring
They're
and stretching
fun. They are so
everything,
fun.
and like what I tell you is like, oh baby, my teeth were whiter than the paint on my walls, right? Like I was really just doing it up. And I'm like, why? I'm not a bad
Yeah.
looking person.
Yeah.
Like, and so I post all natural. You just gotta know, you gotta find your lighting, right?
Yeah.
And so find your lighting and you're fine.
I was
And
called
so
out one time. Sorry to cut you off really quick
tell
because you're talking
me.
about filters. No, because I went to this party. It was one of my friend's birthday parties, and these two girlfriends that I hadn't seen for a while. We were trying to take a selfie, and I was like, "Oh, put the best filter, like the cutest, put like a cute filter," it says something like that. And the girl was like, "Filter? We don't use that." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, excuse me, then we're not using a filter then, but I just wanted the cute one." Like, and I was like,
Dead.
damn, like I don't filter my shit either, but like let's put a cute one. I don't know.
Someone said you're both gay. Oh, yeah, and the earth is round, dumbass. But thanks.
Okay, and your dick is little, so that's that.
Here we go, spreading positivity.
I'm sorry. Okay. Anyways, no, but going back to the whole thing, no, but like sometimes I go on rants, like on my Instagram, because sometimes like things happen. It's kind of like you, like things kind of happen to me, and things I seem to continuously, like, I don't say always because I don't want to jinx me, but I feel like
Yeah.
I get into certain situations, and sometimes it's fun to talk about it. So like speaking about like my followers, like sometimes like people seem to like when I rant. So whether it's like an interaction that I had at the gym, an interaction that I had at the gas station, an interaction that I had at Target. Like it's just stories that happened to me, and I just like to talk about them, and people like really eat it up. But again, it goes back to like I'm not lying just to kind of make me seem some sort of way. Like I just sometimes things happen. I'm like, let me just talk about this on Instagram, and I notice a lot of people, they like
Because
when
they
I do that.
relate to it.
They
It's
relate to
real
it.
life experience.
Yeah, they relate to it.
Do you think that maybe the problem isn't actually the influencers? Do you think it's us as an audience that we've put them on this pedestal, like, oh, I want to be like
Mhm.
Huda Beauty. I want to be like, all these influencers. Do
Mhm.
you think that we've caused this and that they've just kind of benefited from it and that benefited from it and they're actually not the problem?
I would say part for sure because there's a lot of influencers like in the past, obviously, right, that have been in situations or whatever the case
Mm-hmm.
was,
Mm-hmm.
and in really bad situations, right? And you still today have a lot of people that are so religiously like following them still, and they like back them up still. And like if someone's writing like a negative, not a negative comment, but if someone's stating like a factual thing about this person that they did in the past, you have all
Yeah.
these people that support them that are like attacking this person and like and so I want to say yes, in part we are enabling this. Like it is our problem because we continue to support and allow these things or these creators to do exactly that. You know what I mean? Why do you think so many times in the past when situations have happened with the influencers and they're losing followers, right, or they're losing deals, they come up with these fake apology videos? For that reason,
Yes.
because they don't want
Yes.
to
I
lose
just seen
that.
one today.
Yeah.
And I was highly, highly, highly disappointed because there was no emotion behind it. And it was apology
And there's
to
never an emotion behind
it
any
was it was
fucking
apology
apology
to our
video.
community as Latinos. It was a
Yeah.
mariachi, and she was, some things have come out about her, and so she was apologizing to our community. But you could tell it was read. It was read from a script. Like you could see her eyes moving. There was zero emotion behind it. When
Hmm.
people are truly
Hmm.
sorry about something, or when there's passion and fire behind it, and you can see it. And
Hmm.
I was like, "Yo, that's rough."
Hmm.
Sorry, girl. Hold on. Let me get this y'all out. Okay, here we are.
I'm like, are you reading more of the comments? What are they saying? Because
No,
I'm ready
I'm
to
just gonna
fight.
leave the comments off. Like, I'm gonna leave the comments. I know that we need to hire somebody to read the comments for us and to respond because
Yes, please.
I'm not here to read the comments. I'm here to give my opinion on what
Yes.
is happening in the world. And like, this was a different episode than what we normally do. But what I really want to get into is the gay influencers. Like,
Okay.
I've recently gone on an unfollow spree of gay baiters who are
Mhm.
influencers, because I'm like, you're not even gay, you're gay baiting and you're
You're gay
benefiting from
baiting.
us. So like, let me just
Yes.
unfollow you because you have nothing to do. There's only like 2 that I still follow because they're very sexually fluid. Like,
Mhm.
he doesn't hide, one of them doesn't hide the fact that he has a girlfriend, but he will do men on men photo shoots
Okay.
where they're posing in speedos, and he's very comfortable with again, like it would be like he would be an actor, right? Like, he's very comfortable with doing a commercial and kissing a man on the lips and going home to his girlfriend, and his girlfriend is very
Mhm.
comfortable with him. So that kind of person I can support, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's like, you're an ally, you can play the role of what it is if you're promoting a gay underwear brand, and
Yeah.
there's like, just like Victoria's Secrets, there's an appeal, right, to the steaminess of walking the runway, or like anything, right? So he can very much lean into that, and he's 100% comfortable with who he is, and I support those type of followers, or those type of influencers. But like the
Yeah.
other ones, I'm like, no, you're literally here just to flex your muscles so that the gays can follow you. So
Of
you're
course.
just unfollow. I'm not supporting
Yeah.
it. um and there was one recently who the gays went in on him because he had said something phobic,
Okay.
and they flooded his comments. He's like, I'd rather have 0 followers than um than gay followers. You guys don't
Oh,
support me.
shut
You guys
up.
don't. And it's like, baby, these girls ain't supporting you neither. So
Yeah.
you better pick your lane, you better pick it fast, because
Yeah.
you're either
Yeah.
an ally or you're not. And
Right.
in a sense, like, gays have created a lot in the world. We have created fashion houses, we've created, styles and trends, and makeup artists. There's a lot of gay makeup artists in the industry. There is a lot of gay
Mhm.
fashion designers in the industry. So if you are any part of those industries and you are not with it, then you need to have a reality check.
Right.
But it's so, I don't even, there's so much. How many
Mhm.
gay influencers do you follow? Let's start there.
Oh, I don't know. Like the gay baiters or actual gay influencers?
Both.
It's hard. I try not to follow like I know.
It's
See,
hard
here's
at
what I
first
hate.
because
I hate okay, here's the thing. I
yeah.
hate about us, like gay individuals. Like I hate to say this, but I don't know, just for lack of a better word, but we're so easy. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're so easy to
Yeah.
get caught like um from the like I'm trying to think of the word, but I can't. But you know what I mean? Like we're just so like we are like the easiest consumer, unfortunately, because we like get just aroused or turned on so quickly by just like a photo or a video, and
We're
it like
like, ooh, and then we're sending it to each other, and like, next thing you know, that
yeah,
person's
and
gone
now you're
viral.
creating this right, like you're creating this whole thing, like you know how now on Instagram you can see how many times it's been shared, like it's
Mhm.
like 3 point something, and I'm like, but it's all gay, it's all the gays that are
That's
doing
why I
that, and
don't
that's
share
why
anything.
well, I don't share anything either anymore, but it's like it's unfortunate that like we're like the easiest consumer for like the straight guys, and that's why they're making all this money because like we're just so easy. And I hate to say it, but it's true. Like women are not fucking paying these men. You know what I mean? Like they're not what we do, like how we follow these people, how we support these people, how we be commenting on like these guys' like Instagram pages, because I do it too. Like women are not doing that. And I mostly see it's all gay guys. Like when I'm clicking on like either fitness guys or guys that are really, really are trying to like, show up some things, like the comments all just gay men, gay men. Like you rarely see any women thirsting. It's just us. And it makes me so mad because I'm like, fuck you guys. Like if it wasn't for
No,
us, y'all be making no money.
it's true. It does irritate me in a sense, but at the same time, I'm like, yo, the reality and power of that we have on social
Okay.
media, TikTok,
Yes. Yeah.
Instagram, like, we really do have that power. Like,
Hmm.
imagine if we banded together,
I know.
like, just as a unit,
Hmm.
and just like stuck with each other. Like, and like there's girl on girl drama when the girls are fighting, and that's why when the gays start fighting, they're like, the girls are fighting because
Yeah.
there's drama there too. But like, think if all
Mhm.
women banded together on the same and had like the same, I'm not gonna say opinion, but they just were like, boom, we're supporting this and we're moving for all girls are on board. And if the gays did that too, yo, we would be unstoppable. We would be
100%.
invincible.
Yeah.
Invincible. Or whatever Whitney
No, I
Houston
totally.
said.
I listen. I totally agree. We are very powerful. I will say that.
We
We just
are.
don't,
We
we
are.
just don't utilize our power very wisely sometimes. Okay.
We don't, but we always look good. Okay. Look, it is.
Very
I
good.
have been up for 20 hours and
You
like
have
my
been out
skin's
for
not even
20
really
hours.
sagging. Like, come on now. Yes. It is crazy. Have you ever been involved in influencer drama?
No, I don't
Do
think
you
so.
trust influencers?
Not always. No.
No. What makes you trust an influencer versus what makes you not trust an influencer?
Well, I would say, well, I have to think about like the longevity of how long I've been following these influencers, right? And
Mhm.
so I think at some point you can kind of decide like, oh, they're being very honest or they're not being honest, right? Or if they get into some sort of situation, um, then that's when you know, like, okay, maybe they were not truthful. I always think about there's a
Mm.
influencer, there's so many, right? But I follow this influencer, Michaela, and she was very known for Lashgate. Because I think she was promoting this happened a while back. She was
What
like
is
promoting like
Lashgate?
well, she was promoting this oh my, I can't even think today. What's going on with me today? She was promoting a mascara from, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but like,
Uh-huh.
she was promoting L'Oreal, like this new mascara that L'Oreal had came up with, and Michaela's obviously, she's doing a video review about it, and so she's putting on the mascara, and then the video cuts, and then it kind of cuts into her, and her lashes are like so big, and she's like, "Oh my God," she's like overreacting and saying like, "Oh, it really works," whatever, right? So the power of social media. A lot of people like were saying like, "Oh, that's like you're lying. Like it doesn't make your lashes like that." People that tried it were like, "You're a liar." All this stuff, right? So then people dug up old videos of Michaela where she would kind of say like, "Oh, I'm the queen of false lashes, and I can make them look really big and very natural." Something along the lines of that. Again, I'm not quoting, but it's something along the lines of that. And they kept reposting those videos from old videos of her when she would say that. And so it was obviously everyone knew at this point that she fucking lied. That L'Oreal mascara, and then Jeffree Star, who obviously, like, if you know him,
Oh, not Jeffree
he
Star.
he got in the mix. He got, once he gets in, it's over.
Je-
So he made a review of the mascara himself, and I mean, he said it was a good product, but not to that extent, like what Michaela
Yeah.
was talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, so it was like this whole thing, right? Like the cat was out of the bag, like everyone was coming for her. Not once did she make an apology video. She made another video after that situation,
Oh
and then
no.
it's funny because the intro was like, "Oh, the moment you guys all been waiting for," and then she's
Oh,
just like, but she's reviewing another product. Like she never brought up that situation
I was
about
gonna say
the
that's a
mascara.
smart way to kind of get yourself out of a
Yes,
situation, right? Because
yes,
everyone is waiting for
yes.
that. What the heck?
Uh
What was
huh.
just touching my foot? Oh, it's the window seal. I was like, first of all, there's something crawling in my house right
Ooh,
now.
I'm like,
It was
oh, okay.
spongy. It was like the whatever. But yeah, you know what? Like, and
Yeah.
that's the thing is like, I was just watching Hacks on
Mm,
HBO Max, and if anybody hasn't watched the show Hacks, like it's in its final season, and basically, Deborah Vance, the main character,
mm-hmm,
she gets she's has to choose either to fire her writer or to leave her night or her nighttime talk show like a Jimmy Kimmel type situation. So she
mm-hmm.
ended up to back her writer and she left the show. Well, she was
Okay.
on a gag order for she can't do anything for 18 months. So
Okay.
she holds this private comedy show and then the network serves her and is suing her and she comes out of the courthouse and she says I'm being silenced and she says all these things right about what's being held over her head and she goes, but I will tell my truth when I sell out Madison Square Gardens, and she sets a date, and it's like this big PR press. And that's the thing, like, if you mess up, if you address it the correct way, it can actually work in your favor. Right? So like, if she, like, homegirl, when you were like, she said, "Oh, the moment you've all been waiting for."
Yeah.
Right?
And then it just cuts
That
to
was
the
a
next product.
great segue. She
Yeah.
really could have been like,
Yeah.
"The moment you've all been waiting for." That probably could have been her biggest video.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, look, you all know I've never lied about my lashes. I put my mascara on top of my lashes. Should I had probably went into detail more of that for some of my new followers in my recent video? Absolutely. So let me show you like what I look like with one eyelash and what I look like with some fake ones with the right. And so you show the difference of one and the other. Like, now this
Yeah.
is what it looks like if you don't have long lashes and you want to just use your naturals, right? And that, ooh, and this is what it looks like when you put on the falsies and when you put it on top of the falsies, right? So there's
Yeah.
ways to go about it.
Right.
And so that's where I thought you were going with that, because I have no idea who this girl is who you're talking about, but that would have been a great way to flip that scenario around, because it'd be like, okay, like, I'll give her that. Like, she's hell of annoying for this, but like, I'll give it to her, because we've seen far worse.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But we are wrapping up into our hour. This is starting to get really good. So you know what? What we're gonna do is we're gonna make a 2.0 with this with Paul.
Yes.
So all three of us are gonna get in on this, and then we're gonna talk about social media mess ups. And while we go into our social media mess ups, I want to have our R&R moment of the week. So anybody who's new, who's logging on, because we've had over like 200 people that are new to the show log in today. Our R&R moment of the week is something that happens to you that just makes you say R&R. So it could mean you could, you know, you left your house and you were going grocery shopping and you left your wallet and your phone at the house. So now you don't have no Apple Pay, no credit card. Or it could be something as simple as, girl, I'm so tired and I could not hit my max PR that I was planning on doing this week. R&R. Do you have an R&R moment of this week, Cheekie Humbie?
I'm thinking of one. I think I do, but I'll let you start it. Your own.
My R&R moment of the week. Oh, girl. This is, I was so mad. I was on my way to work. I had chorizo con huevos con papas, girl, and I had mixed it up. You know when you make the chorizo con papas and you mix it together?
Yes.
And so what people don't, so anybody listening doesn't know what chorizo con papas is. It's potatoes and chorizo, and you cook it together. You chop up the potatoes into like little squares or like little triangles, right? And they're softer. They're like a French fry kind of consistency. And so you mix that with your chorizo, and so like you have like a hearty breakfast. But then if you add eggs to that and a little bit of salt and pepper and maybe some butter and stuff, gold, right? So not you licking your lips. I had my meal prep container. I had just put it all in there. I made a little avocado toast and put some rosemary oil on top of it. Not rosemary oil. Yeah, it was rosemary oil. With olive oil, and my breakfast was going so good. And I was halfway to work, and someone cut me off. And like, obviously, I didn't want to crash. My anti-braking system kicked in because like she just darted in front of me on the highway. And next thing you know, my chorizo con huevos con papas all over my passenger seat floor.
Oh no.
When I tell you, I was so mad because you know when you're just looking forward to something, you're like, "Oh, that looks so good." Look, I took a picture of it too. Look,
fuck.
All across my foot. I was so mad. I was like, "R-nar." But on the bright side, I was able to eat the first half of it. I finished the avocado toast. But I really wanted the rest of that. And then I was like, you know what? That is a sign that I still need to take my ass to the gym and hit the stair climber for 30 minutes because our tummy is not, we are not at the six pack that we promised we'd be before Long Beach Pride. So.
Was that on your way to the gym?
No, that was my way to work. Then later on that night, I went to the gym and I did 30 minutes of cardio. And I was like, oh, I hate it here.
Okay.
What was your R&R moment of the week?
Well, it's kind of related to the gym. This happened actually yesterday. So I, for some reason, just got I don't always get allergies, but I get every so often, I get very nasally and I start getting sneezy, but it's really, really bad.
That season.
And I hate it. So I'm on my way to the gym and I start sneezing as I'm getting off the car. So I'm just like, oh my God. Then my nose starts running. My eyes are tearing, right? So I'm like trying to rush to get to the restroom. And one of the gyms that I go to, they have like a public restroom, and then they have like one hidden kind of like private restroom. And I like to go to that one just because like the other one's always so full.
Yeah.
So I kind of ran and thank God no one was there. And so I ran in the restroom, and I'm looking for toilet paper. The toilet paper is out. So I use paper towels, right, to kind of blow my nose and kind of just like wipe my eyes and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So okay, so another thing, I'm telling you, a hot mess. There was no like trash bin. Like I think people were throwing trash just in like that hole. So I didn't want to do that because that's like messed up. So I threw the paper towels in the toilet, right? Which, okay, whatever. It's like an industrial toilet. You think like nothing happened. So I'm like, blowing my nose. I throw everything there. It was like a few paper towels, maybe like 4, probably. I throw them in there. I flush the toilet. Tell me why the water starts backing up. And it starts like leaking out of the toilet seat. Like it's out. It starts leaking out.
Oh,
Like,
no. I would
like,
have left
so
the
I'm grabbing all
bathroom.
oh my God, I was so terrified. I grabbed all the paper towels. I was throwing them on the floor, like just trying to kind of soak up the water. Thank God at some point the water kind of leveled out a little bit, and it was like slowly kind of going down. So I waited there until the water was fully. You couldn't see the paper towels anymore, but like the water was like slowly kind of going back to like its normal, whatever. So I grabbed all the white paper towels. I just throw them in that little hole where people were throwing all the paper towels at, and I just stormed off. And I was like, I'm gonna just act like nothing happened, like whatever. I'm leaving, and so that was my honor moment of the week.
I would have lost it at that. I would have. I
I
don't even know
was
what I would have done.
terrified. I was so terrified because if the water would have leaked out of the room, like the door, like I would have been done for.
Oh,
Yeah.
I honestly, I
Yeah.
would have just, I would walk right out like I had no idea. I'm like, oh my gosh, I went to go blow my nose in the bathroom right now, and there's just stuff leaking in there everywhere.
And you know what though? There's a sign. There's like a little sign like next to the toilet that says
Don't
like please
throw
don't throw. Yeah.
don't throw paper towels in the toilet. What you do? Throw paper
Sorry
towels
guys,
in the
if you're
toilet.
watching, you go to this specific gym. I'm not gonna say where. I'm so sorry, but it's all fixed now. Like
It's Planet Fitness. Oh
Yeah,
no.
that
So
was
like that was
so
pretty
bad.
tough for both of us.
That was
Let
very
us
tough.
know what your oh no moment of the week is. We're gonna hit this next week with part 2 with Paul when he's back. Paul is actually out this
Yes.
week because his mom is visiting him, so they spent time to like hang out together.
Aw, we love
Because she
Paul.
flew into town to go see him in his new city since he moved. So Paul, we'll see you next week. Let us know what you think. Have you been involved in any social media drama? Drop it in our comments. Make sure you go follow us at Good Day Gay Podcast. You can follow Humberto at the Cheeky Humbie. You can follow me at Russell X Raymond. Like, tag, subscribe, share. We would love to get to 100,000 followers. As we were talking about influencers,
Period.
we want to create a fun show. So we would love to keep growing. We would love to have interaction. We would love to not have trolls in our comments.
Hi trolls.
But we do also love the trolls because guess what?
We
baby?
love the
You
trolls.
got our numbers up. So thank you
Mhm.
for the dopamine.
You can
And
slide
until
into
then,
my DMs too, little trolls. Like I'll respond back.
drop me a little Cash App, a little Venmo.
Yeah, literally.
Until then, we'll see y'all next week. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.